7:10, Friday morning. Buchle's just looking great. Another bright day, clear. Wee bit of haze, maybe get cloudy later, but it's going to be another warm one. Just leaving the Glencoe Mountain Resort campsite. Should be good once a new building's ready, but it's good just now. They're doing very well with their porta cabins and things, and the pod was alright. Shared a beer, a couple of Mad Hawks last night for Edinburgh. So, always glad to be leaving a place in the morning. Always feel like that, but it was a good place to be. Had some fun, went up the chairlift to the top of that, which is, I wasn't really to the top of it all. Craigduve, I think, Craigduve. But what a view, right across the Ben Nevis. So I recommend doing that if you're here. You just go up the chairlift, 1320, and climb about the last 200 feet to get the views. So now I'm going down here, back down to the road, and walk past the King's House, along Glencoe a bit there, and you see the path going up the hill, and just round the corner where the shadows on the hill there, just round there's the Devil's Staircase. Ooh. And then it's sort of the ridge at the top and down the long trek to Kinlochleven. So probably about 14 miles or something today, I think, maybe less. I'll check out the map. And so I'm setting off at this time. I should be there again about lunchtime or something. I'll just take it easy. I like setting off at this time because you avoid the heat, a lot of the heat. Of course, you get to your destination, there's not much to do. Not much in Kinlochleven. This is the point where you start to feel a wee bit sad because you know the West Highland Way is coming to an end. 2 stages to go, just today then tomorrow, and then that's it, back to reality. Or maybe this is the reality. That's the way to look at it. This is the reality, and it's back to the daily grind that for some reason we need to achieve reality for a week or two a year. Strange life we live these days. Anyway, I'm rambling. This is amazing. That cloud is developing right before my eyes. That wee low cloud across the Buchel. It was just a wee wisp just a minute ago. And the one over there as well, the Devil's Staircase. I can actually see it growing. Never seen that so clearly before, that's great. It's going to be a wee temperature inversion, I think. That magic night in old Glencoe, the mystical libations flow, the dreams and legends that we know, the cruel snow, the cruel foe. As we sat on the balcony, the Buchel in his majesty. It's dispersing now. Great. Squinting into the sun here, forgive me. Thought it'd be nice if you could see the Buchel behind me, whoever you are I'm talking to. Worth mentioning, if you're staying in one of these wee pods, whether it's Tyndrum or Glencoe or whatever, you should bring your own sleeping gear with you, a sleeping bag and pillow. I haven't done that, so I had to hire it at Tyndrum, but here I just decided to go without. I don't know if you could hire it even. And it was okay to start with. There's a sleeping platform there, and kind of soft mattress. But woke up during the night, freezing. I'd forgotten that it got really cold there during the night, because I knew that from 3 years ago. So I got all my layers on, my trousers and 2 pairs, and my jacket and everything, my fleece, 2 t-shirts, still I was freezing, but I managed to get back to sleep. But then when I woke up in the morning, I was poking about getting ready, I realised there was one of these wee oil-filled radiators in the room I could have been using. I can see my face is all shiny with sun cream and tan. So, silly me, I could have had that on at night and not been so cold. But, a pro tip, bring your sleeping bag. Back end of the King's House, the Hin End. That's where I was yesterday, top of that, where that wee cloud is, right at the top there, looking at cracking. Clouds back in the vehicle. The lake is down here. Shame about these telegraph poles and things spoiling the view. If that's what they are. Looks as if maybe there's power cables going up there. Don't know if you get telegraph poles these days. This came from King's House down there. I've walked what, about 2 mile, maybe just over 2 mile, which is, I don't know, kilometres, 3.5 clicks, maybe. Nobody around. Solitude, silence, apart from that stupid road. Constant stream of traffic in the 82. Since I'm early, I just decided to stop in the hillside here for a few minutes. Just sitting on a rock. Just me and the bugle and the meadow pipits. I think that's what they are, peeping away, whirling about now and again. Just beyond the road there, that's the River Etive. And that's a wee turn off to the River to Glen Etive. See campers and things parked on it. It's worth a visit, Glen Etive. Really quiet, and there's a loch, or a loching down at the bottom of it as well. Lots of these wee meadow pipits about here. Down in Ayrshire, there's willow warblers, they seem to be everywhere. If you go and climb Cairn Table, or some of the other bits about your Kirk or that, the place is full of them, the wee warblers. I think maybe reed buntings as well, I'm not quite sure. I'm not a great, what's the word for a bird lover? Ornithologist, is that right? Spotter. But here it's the meadow pipits. And I seem to have left them behind, they were just back there. Lots of them. Don't like the term meadow pipit. Doesn't sound right, doesn't it? Have the right ring to it. I think there must be a better Scottish name for them. Peep peep. That's what they are. The wee peep peeps. Peep peeps. I don't know if there's any dictionary or list somewhere of Scottish bird names. Used to know a boy that seemed to know quite a few names that weren't the, for birds anyway, that weren't the official English names of them. I can't remember them all now, but It sounded, certainly to my ear, it sounded as a bit more natural, a bit more, I don't know, not folksy exactly, but it seemed to fit the accent more, if that's a thing. It seemed to fit in with like the Scottish or Irish accent much more than some of the official names, which do sound, Meadow Picket sounds very kind of home counties. Like Yorlin's one. I've never heard the Yorlin cry or seen the flaxen bloom, but I kept up in hussies when the yellow's on the brim, when the yellow's on the brim, when the yellow's on the brim, I'll tack you on the road again, when the yellow's on the brim. I think maybe the more traditional names are maybe kept alive by the travelling people. It's a shame if all that was to die out. Much maligned, the travelling people. Unfairly, I reckon. I've encountered an awful lot of people out and about that are travellers, but when I have, they've been fine. Me and my pal Davey once were hitching through Ireland and we got stuck somewhere, Bantry I think maybe, trying to get out. Stuck at a big turn of the road and we were there for hours trying to hitch a lift. We were only about 20 years old and there was a caravan parked down the way. It was clearly travelling people. The kids were out, I remember, trying to climb this sheer rock face right at the side of the road. I was feared for them. Just wee kids, they had no fear. Anyway, eventually the mum called them down and sent them back up to see us with pieces of cheese and cups of tea, which was great because we were just done, we were beat, and we'd been there for hours. Luckily maybe half an hour or an hour after that we got a lift. And I think the lift we got was by a mad woman. Started shouting at us in a really thick accent we couldn't understand. I was going to have it. We couldn't get it. And eventually twigged it was, she was trying to get us to make sure that the 2-year-old who was in the back with us didn't touch the car door and open it. So probably she picked us up, which was a really strange thing for a young mum to do, probably in her 30s, pick up 2 guys and put them in the back seat with her 2-year-old kid. But I think maybe that's why she did it, because she was worried the 2-year-old kid would open the car door while it was moving. And then we got a lift with another guy, I remember. I think we called him the fly catcher, because the wee van he was in, just full of flies. It was the weirdest thing. There's no flies particularly out and about. It was just, when you get in his van, the whole place was full of flies. I had some mad times. Glencoe. I think I've heard people say it's Glen of Weeping. Of course, there's the Massacre of Glencoe and the song of the Corries. Cruel as the snow and cruel as the fall. Cruel as the snow. Oh, cruel as the snow that sweeps Glencoe and covers the grave O'Donnell. Cruel was the foe that raped Glencoe and murdered the house of MacDonald. They came in the night while the men were asleep. We offered them clothes, dry shoes for their feet. We wined them, dined them, they ate of our meat and slept in the house of MacDonald. Not quite sure how it goes in terms of words orching. Glencoe can be kind of eerie at times. Not so much did a nice sunny day like this though. spectacular. There's a better word for it. If you sleep there, somebody will come and step on you. Hell, come on, go over there. Yeah, big hairy caterpillar. People heading across the uppy bridge there. Going climbing. A wee path there. I see somebody in white going up the buchle. Path goes up to that quarry. Path looks okay, but when you get to the quarry it looks a bit steep and full of scree. There's maybe a better way to go up, but I don't know. Perhaps that'll be quite good. Maybe it's okay when you're up there, maybe it just looks too difficult from here. Right, just beyond these trees, we've got a double staircase. So we'll see what that's like today. This wee section just came along, it's a bit too close to the road for my liking. You just nick in away from the road just beyond where this is where the trees were down there, beyond that wee white house. White shed. The road was kind of busy. The car parks are mobbed already. That's what, 9:15. Lots of people heading up the buchle. Oh, I see a path goes away to the left there around the mountain as well. Maybe that's where they're going. No, there's some people going up towards that quarry. Right. This is the start of the double staircase. I'm going up here. Oh, scary, scary. Oh, I think I'm just about halfway up the staircase. Maybe not quite, but getting there. I got my wee spy scope out, and the folk who'd went up towards that quarry in the path up there seem to have turned back. Can't see them anymore, apart from there's a few folk along the path in the flank of the mountain there to the left. So maybe they thought better of it. That's definitely the way I would go. Someday I shall. Maybe soon. Come up and climb the buchle. Just thinking of the wee lilac butterflies or moths there were in Rannoch Moor. Not sure what they were flutterbys anyway. I couldn't get close to one, they were too fast to see if there was any other markings on it to identify it, but the colour of Parma violet, so well, violet colour then I suppose. Parma violet sweeties I'm thinking. I like Parma violets. I like the wee flutterbys as well. Nearly there. Oh, that wasn't halfway up I was. It was only about, last time I stopped, it was about a third of the way up. It's a kind of false summit, as is natural. River. Looking grand. So nearly at the top of the double staircase. Oh, what kept me going there was the two old dears behind me, who were easily keeping pace with me. Tough old birds, as they say. I think that woman I met between Bridge of Ork and Inveroran was right. The Harrier said, you've got to keep testing your body. You've just got to keep telling it, no, we've got to do this. And that's what keeps it healthy. It's got to adapt and got to repair itself. It becomes more important as you get older, I think. It becomes harder as well and more painful probably, but right, here's a summit. I can stop here, take some snaps and have some water. We were here 3 years ago. It was a blizzard up here, there was hail, a real strong wind. You felt as if you were going to be blown off the top. So we couldn't stop, we got a quick picture and then a good picture as well. Sheena printed and framed for me. The three of us up here. So it's nice to have. A double staircase so you can go way up there as well. One that takes you to the Kinlochleven. I don't know my geography. There's the road down. That's the hard work really starting. The hard road away down the glen to Kinlochleven. Aye. I'll have to do that next. I don't think the double staircase is as hard as people make out. John McKenna was born under a one-day star. No, I think Conic Hill's a harder climb than the double staircase. And maybe that's just because I was tired after walking with the wife and my guy. Maybe if you stay overnight in Drimmen, then it wouldn't be so bad. And Conic Hill from the normal kind of touristy way is pretty easy, but from the back end, from the Drimmen end, it's a bit harder. And I think it's harder than the double staircase. The double staircase was made for the military. I think it was Caulfield, not Wade, that did this one. But it was used by the guys who were building the electric power station at Kinlochleven, the Blackwater Reservoir. So the guys who were building that were Irish guys who brought over to do it. Hardy, tough. And the legend is that they were working there during the day and then they'd walk this long road for the reservoir or Kinlochleven or wherever they were working, all the way up this road, out the double staircase down to King's house, fair old hike, to get a pint of beer. And then they'd walk back at night in the darkness, whatever the weather, drunk along here. That's a legend. I don't know whether to believe that at all. I don't think they would do it every night. Maybe on a Friday when they'd been paid, with some coins in their pockets, and they'd go away down to King's house and gamble and drink. And I know, but I can't see them doing it every night and walking back in the darkness as well. I think if I was them, I'd just bide the night in King's house, even if it meant humping a tent there. But there would be an inn there as well, so I don't know whether to believe that story, but it's a nice story. No doubt they did it sometimes. And now I see they're looking for the grandkids of these Irish guys that did that, to see if they've got any stories. I think they were making a film about it or something recently, and they were looking for their grandkids. I saw an advert. Lovely, lovely. Oh, that just passed us. He's just going the opposite way, which would be nice. you go up this way and then come down the Devil's Staircase. That might be a nice way to go, because suddenly you get to the top there, you've got all the views across the Buchan and Glencoe. So that could be quite good. That puzzled me, the song The Yellows in the Broom, about why the guy's saying, I'll tack you on the road again when the yellow's on the broom. I was thinking, well, you'd have to wait till June, you know, because the yellow's on the gorse first of all in May, and then it goes, and then the yellow's on the broom after that in June. But I suppose it must be because of the schools. You know, who cares what a scaldie thinks? A scaldie's but a fool. You know, then sconce our wains in school. The scaldies cause dirty things and sconce our wains in school. Who cares what a scaldie thinks? A scaldie's but a fool. Never see, you know, and that. So they must be waiting for the schools to break up, I suppose, to go back in the road. Funny thing, when Rosie May comes in with flowers, that's another song about the seasons. A Burns one, I think, I'm pretty sure. I saw a thing online where it was an American linguistics professor, or, you know, well, expert in folk music and stuff, was teaching a class, and so the lyrics they had for that was, well, the song goes, when Rosie May comes in with flowers and plants them round her green and burs, then busy, busy are his hours, the gardener with his paddle. The crystal waters rise and fall, the merry birds are lovers all. The scented breezes round him blaw, the gardener with his paddle. His paddle just being his trowel or whatever instrument he's using. But in terms of the merry birds are lovers all, which makes sense obviously because of the season that being May. We'd picked it up obviously in a Scottish singer. And the words they'd put down was the merry bards are lovers all. And they were trying to explain this, you know, that the springtime's the season when the bards would make up their songs, things like this. But it was just because of the accent. Picking it up from a Scots person, the merry bards are lovers, or it could be birds or whatever. They thought it was bards. So that was a wee chuckle. I'm still talking complete nonsense because there's nobody with me. This is where I'm going. I think that must be the Blackwater Reservoir. Bigger than I thought. And then the conduit will run down behind this wee hill here to the pumping station, and then down the pipes to the power station in Kinlochleven. Somebody's left a wee Dory the fish painted rock. Right round the corner here, and you see Kinlochleven nestled down there among the trees. It looks really close. People say, it's just like you can touch it, you can just reach out touch it. It takes ages to get to it. This weekend, 4 miles to go. 10:38. So made really good progress today. I think, given the times I've been setting out, I really could have gone further. Maybe could have made it all the way to Fort William today. Just taking my time. You see the path going to be up the hill there. The distance. I'll just take it easy. It's kind of rocky in bits. You've got to watch in this section. It's a bit cheating. Especially when it's wet. You think it's reasonably straightforward, but you can easily trip or slide. We were here before Chris saved a boy that fell just in front of him, and the boy's head was just about to hit the rock. Chris grabbed him just in time. I think he maybe certainly saved him a serious injury, could have saved his life. So take care coming down here. At last, down off Altnafed. Oh, we're onto this track. This is the top station, I think, for the hydro scheme. Still downhill all the way to Kinlochleven. I'm glad to be off that hill. The clegs were absolutely atrocious. Yeah, I'm feeling the heat now. Funny because you're feeling fine, then suddenly the heat just builds and you're tired out. Feet are sore coming down that stony path. Coming down the hill there. Oh, that's tough. In the heat, the sore feet. There's a wee gorge. Obviously dammed this river up, I think. And uphill. That's just torture. Oh, his feet are agony. If these guys did that, these guys that worked the hydroelectrics and built the dam and everything, every day to get their skin of beer, King's House, oh, they must have been supermen. I don't know what kind of feet they had either. Super feet. It was a super feat to do it. I'm glad I set off early because all those folk who are setting off at a more normal time, about 9 o'clock or something, are going to really suffer in that hillside because it's stewing again. And this is only 11:30. It'll get worse. And there's no signs at this part, so you've just got to know to keep going in a generally downhill direction towards that glen. Oh, I should see something else, a bit of shade. Oh, the relief is instant. You hit the shade. Oh, wow. It's a long, weary road this, and a weary fit, a weary mile. We twa here on about the braes, and put the gowans fine. But we've wandered mony's a weary fit, it's an auld lang syne. For auld lang syne, my jo. For auld lang syne, oh tak a cup of kindness yet. For auld lang syne. We twa hae paid out in the bun, frae morning sun to dine. But seas between us braid he roared, it's an auld lang syne. Maybe try a higher key in that one. Not that I care about keys, but the voice is breaking the low note. I'll try a baritone. And wha who ran a put the braes and put the gowans fine. But we've won that money's all we It's an auld lang syne. But auld lang syne, my jaw. But auld lang syne. Oh, tak a cup o' kindness yet. But auld lang syne. I might not be doing it justice, but that's the original tune apparently. Which actually is really, if you get somebody singing it right, is actually superior in my opinion. It's more affecting. Oh, these stones are affecting my feet. Oh, there's the pipes now on the hillside from the wee station up there. That's the upper set. So still quite a wee bit downhill to go yet. To Kinlochleven. When you get here you think you're there, but you're not. You get to the lower pumping station or whatever it's called, and then more pipes actually follow down into the town. And there's where the pipes, they come down off the hill there, and they take a big dip down there, and then they climb back up to the station here. Must be a reason for that, I don't know what, but why would the pipes not just come straight down the way all the time? Okay, they can have a wee station, I can understand they need to do something, but why must the pipes take a dip and then rise? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. The water flows downhill, so it flows down off that hill there, right down there, and then has to be pumped, I take it, back up here to come through those pipes and go down into the town. You can see the town at the bottom, and we're going to walk along. Oh, I keep saying I'm going to walk along beside the pipes. Unfortunately, it's not spraying when the breeze is going the other way. 12 o'clock exactly into Kinlochleven. That's the Blackwater hostel and campsite. I've stayed in the hostel a couple of times and it's ideal. Very good. That's the hydropower station there. This is the tail race. The water that comes down out of the pipes comes down into the river here. They call it a tail race. It's actually more water coming down than I thought there'd be because the day's so dry. I've got a view from the other side at some point. Oh, there's Kinlochleven. Unfortunately, the ice centre is closed just now. It's a shame. I had a wee cafe and a good shop for outdoorsy stuff in it as well, if I remember. I can go to the pub over there. It is lunchtime. I've got to walk all the way around here, about another half a mile or so, to the McDonald Hotel. So maybe I could stop at the tail race pub here. Tail race inn. It's called that because there's the tail race. Oh boo, tail race is shut due to possible COVID outbreak. I'll go round to our pub. I don't want to leave the town centre. I could go round to the McDonald's, but since I'm here, I might as well hang about for a wee while. I don't know when check-in is, but it's only 12 o'clock, just after. The chip shop's for sale. Another victim of COVID, probably. At the balcony bar for macaroni cheese. Tail race.